All right. Hello,
Okay.
folks. Cheap seats, I want to say 89. I don't know for sure, to be honest with you. We have a different setup. Mason is here, virtual. Bryce is not here because he's,
Jose.
I don't know, doing whatever.
I-
It's been a bit. We're in the playoffs and we're past the wild
Were
card round.
in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, the Packers aren't in the playoffs anymore. I mean, that was rough. I mean, I suppose we'll probably recap those games and talk about the ones that are going to happen in the divisional here, but I have a rant about the Packers playoff game, so I just kind of want to get it out of the way.
I have
Is
a
that
rant about the Packers and Bears game.
Oh yeah, that's another one a good one to rant about considering the Packers probably played their worst 3-game stretch at the end of the year versus the
Oh, yeah.
Vikings, Bears, and Eagles, and it was
Yeah.
it was awful. But my gripe is that we I feel like people are being too harsh on Jordan Love for the loss, is my opinion, and Matt LaFleur. I feel like Jordan Love did not play good. He threw 3 interceptions, right? But one of them, the one to Zach Bond was awful. I mean, that one, I don't know how the hell you throw a pick on that one because it was right to him. So that one's inexcusable. The other one was a 50-50 jump ball, and he just kind of underthrew it. So, yeah, his fault, kind of. The other one, though, at the end, that one was a pick that was kind of like a heave and a prayer at the end when the game was basically already over, and we were throwing to maybe try to make a comeback, but it wasn't going to happen. But I don't know. People are saying Jordan Love's not the quarterback of the future. They're saying he should be benched for Malik Willis. They're saying Matt LaFleur is a terrible play caller and that we should fire him, which I don't believe in. What are
Not gonna
your
lie,
thoughts on that?
Malik, pretty fire.
Malik's pretty good. I will say
Yeah,
that. But I don't know. I don't believe in the whole fire Matt LaFleur thing people are saying.
No, I don't either.
When he's a consistently winning coach and we get to the playoffs like almost, I mean, every year pretty much. And I think the team is still very young. And that's
And
just something
fucking
you kind of have
stupid.
to accept, you know?
And stupid.
I think it's ridiculous to
You
expect us to be in the Super Bowl right now. But we're ahead of schedule when it comes to terms of a rebuild. We're ahead of schedule.
you can tell that we have a young team by the way we play.
Oh yeah, I agree,
In
100%.
the Bears game, even the fucking at the end there, we fucking let the guy get up right away. Like even the fucking guy on the radio, I listened to it on the radio. Even the announcer said, "You don't get up right away. You fucking sit there and drain a few seconds.
Yeah,
Like you
exactly.
fucking sit on top the guy."
They kicked
Like what the fuck?
they got the go ahead too early. It was bad. And
Yeah.
then it was just bad clock management, I will say. So that was a pretty butchered
Very.
job by LaFleur. But I don't know, that game was just awful. A lot of injuries too late in the season that kind of turned the whole thing downward.
Yeah, Christian Watson, what a fucking surprise that is.
And he may not even be back for early 2025. They're saying they say he might be out for until mid-season. And I don't know.
Yeah, and Jair too. Of
Oh yeah,
course, I bought his fucking jersey.
that's
He's
true.
probably gonna get cut because he doesn't fucking play it.
I heard the rumor is they might cut him, so I don't know, or trade him, but I don't know. The Packers. It's been an issue the whole time. It was an issue with Rodgers too. They don't have a true wide receiver one. There's no
Yeah.
guy out there that's good enough to consistently throw to, who doesn't make drops. Like the Packers had the most drops out of all teams in the league. None of the receivers were consistently good. Jaden Reed had flashes. Romeo Doubs had flashes. Dobbs. But Watson had flashes too, but either they can't stay healthy or they're not consistent. So
I hear that we're in the hunt for T. Higgins. I don't know if that's true or not.
that's what I heard too. I hope it's true. I mean, I think it's probably the best idea to go in for T. Higgins.
Yeah, I hear Devontae Adams isn't against coming back too. Up on the Up and Adams podcast.
Right, I heard about that one too. So I don't know. He might be able to come back, and I think he's still got some juice left in the tank. Honestly, I don't think he's completely done, but I don't know. I think I'd prefer T. Higgins over Devontae Adams. So
Devontae's a great route runner, though.
it's true. How old is Devontae Adams? He has to be 32, 33, I feel like. He's got to be pretty old. I mean, T. Higgins
He's
probably isn't.
33, I think.
T.
I think
Higgins
he's
isn't a spring
33.
chicken either. He's probably like 27, 28, but
Yeah.
that's not bad at least. But I think that's a big need. I think the Packers need to address secondary in the draft because, I mean, basically everyone besides Jair can't cover. Carrington Valentine got bullied by Dallas Goedert. That one touchdown catch, he got stiff armed like 3 times in the same play.
I didn't even watch the Eagles game. I knew we were fucking first round exits. I already knew we were gonna
Oh
lose.
yeah. I don't even blame you for not watching it. It was not worth the watch. It was brutal. It was
Yeah,
just sadness the whole time, just watching us. Like that game, it may have ended, 19-10 or whatever the score was. But honestly, it felt like it was maybe like a
22-10, I
34-7
thought.
game. Like we were getting blown out. They were just better than us on both sides of the ball. And we could do nothing to stop them. Like Saquon tore us up. Defense, we couldn't stop the pass rush. It was just brutal. So
You know what
on to
really
next year.
grinds my fucking gears?
What's that?
Packers fans.
Why is that?
All these fucking people every fucking team's fan base does it, but all these fucking Packers fans on TikTok and Instagram and all this bullshit,
Yeah.
they fucking post for the Bears game like midway through it. Oh, fucking we win. Like, shut up. Now you're getting fucking clowned everywhere.
Yeah, I agree. It was
There is a pretty funny one though. What was the score of the Packers fucking Packers Bears game? 22-24?
24-21, or was it 22-24? One of the two.
I thought it
I
was
want to say.
22-24.
I think
But
it was
anyways.
22-24.
Yeah. There's people on there, they're like, how would you rate the game on a scale of 22 to 24? That's pretty fucking funny.
Oh, that's
And
clever.
everyone's saying that fucking Caleb Williams is the owner of fucking Lambeau. Like, shut up.
He wins there one time. I mean, that's the first time they won a game in Lambeau since like 2018. They have no right to talk.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of ridiculous to say that, oh, we own Lambeau Field now and
Yeah.
Bears own the Packers. I mean, should we have probably lost that game to them the first time too? Yes. But
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, as a Packers fan, Caleb Williams does look pretty good.
he does,
Especially
honestly.
late in the game. Late in the game he plays his best, I think.
Yeah, I think so. They got to hire a new coach too. Or they fired their old coach, but if they get the right coach in there, Caleb Williams can be even better. I think.
Oh yeah.
Because the Bears always hire like defensive head coaches. Like Eberflus was a defensive head coach. Like when they had Lovie Smith, he was a defensive guy. When they had trying to think of like Mark Trestman and some of the other guys they were all defensive guys. They need to get a quarterback focused offensive coach to have Caleb Williams learn under and develop. And who knows what they're doing when they're calling plays, because obviously right now it's kind of not very quality play calling.
Yeah, it's not good.
My only gripe with Caleb Williams, I feel like right now too, is that he holds the ball way too long. Like you gotta, maybe that's a scheme thing, but you gotta scheme up some plays where he can get the ball out quick and throw some more screens or like quick drags under, like just quick hitters where it's like, 3 steps and throw instead of him sitting back there in the pocket for 4 or 5 seconds scrambling around and then getting sacked. Like
Yeah, you
it's
know what the
bad.
Bears need? Fucking offensive line. Bad.
Oh yeah, they do. I think
Real
they'll go
bad.
after that in the draft too. I think the offensive
Yeah.
line's going to be their move. I don't even remember what pick they have. I want to say like pick 9 or 10 or something.
I don't know.
I don't know. They were so bad this year, but like everyone in the league on the bottom half was pretty bad. So some of the teams that only have like 4 wins, they're picking at like the 8th or 9th spot when most years they'd probably pick top 5. So,
Yeah.
but everyone was just so bad this year. But I don't know. I feel like the Bears have not gonna lie, they have a decent future. It's just that it seems like it's the Bears, so they never can actually put it together.
Yeah.
But maybe that goes all the way
I
up
think
to.
once they get it going, they're gonna be a damn good team.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I agree with that. I think they'll be pretty decent once they actually can. I think it starts up top, though. They'll probably have to fire someone like a general manager, or the team president I hear is pretty bad too. So it's an organizational thing. But I don't know, man. I guess we'll have to see. I'm intrigued because the NFC North was so good this year, and obviously the
Oh, it's
Vikings.
insane.
Vikings lost to the Rams, but
Yeah, they
even
played
they
like
had a
shit
better
too.
year than expected. Do you think Sam Darnold's going to get paid now at the end of the year? Or are they going to let him go? He had a pretty bad game against the Rams. He had a bad game against the Lions when they had that Week 18 game. So he's going to.
Well, you still can't be mad. He is what, fucking 14-2?
Yeah, he was. They went 14-2. I mean, I don't think anyone had them projected to go 14-2 or do that well. I definitely did not think they were going to do that well. I thought maybe they could win like 8 to 9 games this year. But
Yeah.
it shows Kevin O'Connell's a good coach. Shows, when you have playmakers like Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, and even Aaron Jones was pretty good this year too. So,
Oh, yeah.
and their
Oh,
defense was
hey,
a lot better than I thought they were going to be.
speaking of Caleb Williams, fucking, you see those kids that prank called him?
Oh, I did. They told him that
That
Ben
was
Johnson
fucking
was going to be their
hilarious.
coach.
Yeah, that was fucking funny.
And he's like, "Hey, I'm excited to work with you." And it turns out they called him, and then he's like, "Oh shit, you guys got me."
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Think the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl?
I think they do have a good shot at it.
Yeah, I'd say they're going to get David Montgomery back for this playoff game against the Commanders. So
Could you imagine the Commanders pulling an upset?
I really hope the Commanders actually win. I think I'm rooting for the Commanders in this game to win.
Yeah. Who are you rooting for the Super Bowl now?
Right now, let's see. It's down to what? Rams and Eagles you have in the NFC, and then you also have the Commanders and the Lions. And
Yeah.
then in the AFC, you have Bills Ravens. That's going to be a really good game. And then you have Chiefs Texans. So what I want to see, who I would want to make it is I want Bills and probably I would love the Commanders to make it. They're not going to make it, but it would be so cool if it was Bills Commanders just cuz Jaden Daniels is cool and I feel like Washington's hasn't been that good recently. So it'd be kind of cool to see them get there.
Yeah,
But
the rookie to the Super Bowl too.
oh yeah. Yeah. I think
Insane.
what's actually going to happen though is I'm thinking it's going to be like Ravens Lions, I want to say, cuz I don't know, the Lions just seem like the best team to me in the NFC. And the Ravens, I watched that game against the Steelers and it was just complete domination. So I mean, they weren't like the hottest in the middle of the year, but it really matters on like when you get hot, like when your team starts playing really well and Lamar's playing very well, the whole team, the defense is really strong. Like I watched that Ravens Steelers game, it was a slaughtering. Like the Steelers had no shot. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
I
It's gonna be a big hurdle for them to get over the Bills this week because Josh Allen and the Bills are playing really well too. They took care of business against the Broncos, so I think I'm very
I'm
excited
hoping
for
that
that.
Bills win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah, Joshy Poo deserves it.
as long as it's not the Chiefs in the Super
He's
Bowl.
my QB.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You got to root for the fantasy quarterback. As long as it's not the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, I'm okay. Like even if the Texans make it.
I would love to see the Chiefs go there and lose.
It's true. That might be satisfying too. I feel
I
like
think that'd be more satisfying.
really? I feel like I just don't want them to get there at all because like there's going to be so much media coverage about them being in the Super Bowl again, and it's going to
Yeah,
be so
but
annoying.
imagine fucking letdown.
Yeah, that's true. What if they get there against the Lions and they lose to the Lions? That'd be great.
That'd be an amazing Super Bowl. Chiefs and Lions. That'd be crazy.
It would be. But honestly, though, like unless the Lions are playing the Chiefs and the Lions make it, I am not rooting for the Lions unless they play the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I know theoretically I'm supposed to root for the Lions because they're quote America's team, but I'm biased, so I don't know what to tell you.
I'm definitely gonna root for anyone who goes against the Chiefs. I don't really give a fuck who it is, and then I'm gonna root for anyone who goes against the Lions, unless it's the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I rooted for the Chiefs last year because they played the Niners, and the Niners. I honestly feel like I dislike the 49ers more than I dislike the Bears because the
What?
49ers just always have our number. They beat us in the playoffs
Yeah.
like every year, and it's just always a bad beat. And so I was rooting for the Chiefs, and they got it, and I was the only one there when we were at
And
cameras watching it.
they lost, or we lost to the Niners last year too.
Yeah, that's the
In the
people who took us out
playoffs.
of the playoffs. So I think that was kind of my reasoning behind it too, is that like they always beat us, and they're the ones that took us out of the playoffs. So I can't root for them.
You know, I don't really get it. Fucking the people saying fire Jordan, like get rid of Jordan Love and LaFleur. Fucking Jordan Love just started playing 2 years ago, and he's made it to the playoffs both years.
Yeah, and like I don't think he's consistently played well, but he's played good enough to get us in a position where we are. Like I said, we're ahead
Yeah.
of schedule. No one thought last year that the Packers would even make the playoffs, let alone beat the Cowboys. And now to be this
Yeah.
year to make the playoffs again, you know, we
At least fucking Jordan Love plays halfway decent, like 75% of the time.
oh yeah, I agree. I think too that like it was a tough beat this year with a lot of the injuries we had, and we ended up
Oh, that's not an excuse to Bears fans, though.
apparently, yeah, it's not an excuse, but I will say though, what was concerning about this year for us was that we were 1-5 in division. We only beat the Bears, but we lost to the Vikings twice. We lost to the Lions twice. We lost to the Bears once. So I do not like the sound of that going forward, but I think if we can regroup and get some decent pieces in the offseason and get a true wide receiver one, let alone that if that's T. Higgins or Devontae Adams, or if it's anyone else, I think we're going to be in a better position, and I think we have a shot to maybe win the division next year.
Yeah.
Fun back there.
Yeah.
And I don't believe I don't believe like the Lions or the Vikings are going to be able to hold it up. Maybe the Lions. The Lions will probably be a dynasty for like the next 5 years, but the Vikings, I don't think they can hold it up.
Yeah, the Lions really fucking flipped a switch.
Oh yeah, Dan Campbell is a huge part of that.
I mean, they were good last year, but holy fuck.
Oh
They're
yeah, they were.
balling this year.
Well, you remember at like the start of the year before they had so much people get injured on their defense, like recently. But at the start of the year, they were blowing teams out like it was college games. It was crazy.
I know. Beating people by like fucking 30 or 40.
Yeah, and like that team that's what they are when they're fully healthy, and that's scary to think about.
Yeah.
And they're even beating teams now, like they're beating good teams like the Vikings, and they were beating other teams like the Packers and the Niners. They beat too. They're beating good teams like that, even when they're injured on defense. Like they had almost their whole starting lineup on defense injured, and they're still winning.
Yeah.
Now I'm interested to see what happens here when their offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, and their defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, probably take head coaching jobs, because I know they're both highly sought after for that. I'm interested to see if the Lions like play on the same level, because I feel like their success right now is really coordinator based, because like Dan Campbell, he's a great head coach, but he's not like a scheme guy. He's not the one calling the offensive plays. He's not calling the defensive plays. And I don't really know how much he like has to do with that. I think he's very just decision making and a leader of the locker room type of guy. And that works. But I'm just interested to see if they can get a better offensive coordinator in there to continue the success. They obviously have the pieces to do it. But I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see. So oh, what else happened this weekend? Oh, yeah, that's right. Texans beat the Chargers. I can't really believe that. I didn't think the Texans were really going to beat. I didn't think they were going to win. I think no one really had the Texans winning, but they ended up doing it. So, congrats to them. And they were kind of bad.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
The fucking Commanders game was bad.
Oh my god, dude, that game was nuts.
Really bad.
The Commanders just win at the last second like every week, and then I kind of like it. It's great.
I would honestly hate to be a Commanders fan because it's so fucking nerve-wracking every fucking week.
Oh yeah, it must be. And that their kicker, he was in there too. I was watching that game at the end, and then I heard the thud against the goalpost, and then it went in. When I heard the thud, I thought he missed it. I'm like, oh fuck, he just bounced it off the upright. It's over. But no, it went in. I was surprised.
Could you
think every
fucking
week like that
imagine?
is crazy.
Could you imagine if the fucking Packers blocked the game-winning field goal for the Bears again?
Oh, twice. Dude, I was
That
thinking
would have
about that
been
in the
fucking
moment when they
insane.
kicked it.
Me
I was
too.
like, imagine if this happens again. And then it didn't.
I
And I was
actually had
disappointed.
hope that it was going to happen, and I'm
Yeah.
usually pretty negative about it.
And then their kicker ran around and like paraded like he just won the Super Bowl. And he
Yeah.
was like taunting the crowd.
You know what? To all the Bears fans, Cario, or however the fuck you say his first name, your fucking kicker or punter had more fucking yards than your quarterback did passing yards. So suck on
Did he really?
that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Tory Taylor, their punter. He had more than Caleb Williams for passing yards. That's nuts. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about that.
Oh
But
shit! Yeah, I don't know. I said the kicker, but I meant the punter.
yeah, Cairo Santos was the guy who made that game winner, and he was pretty hyped, taunting the whole
No,
crowd.
I think Cario Santos has more yards than Caleb.
Might be
I don't think
factual.
they were there.
I saw some statistic about that, but yeah, I don't know. That's kind of nuts. I think I'm excited to see what happens in the offseason for the Packers. Hopefully they do something smart. And the draft's up here this year. I forgot about that.
I'm not excited about it.
It's going to be a nightmare for you to get around anywhere. I mean, it's going to be brutal. Oh, especially when
right there. Tory Taylor has 3,657 punt yards. Caleb Williams has 3,393 passing yards.
oh my
If you
God.
include the rushing yards, Caleb has more, but I feel like you should have more fucking passing yards than your punter has. If I'm being honest.
I think the sign of a successful offense would be having more pass yards for the quarterback. Like your punter should barely play if you have a successful offense. He should only punt like once or twice a game.
Dog, a fucking punter having 4,000 yards? That's insane.
That is nuts. That is really crazy. You remember when Caleb Williams like texted Tory Taylor at the start of the year too?
I know.
Apparently, yeah, he texted that. Don't worry, you're not gonna have to punt much around here. Yeah,
Yeah.
so much for that.
Whenever I see like those Packers fans fucking posting early and then all the Bears fans are in the comments, I'm like, yeah, your punter has more yards than your fucking quarterback does passing.
That's great.
Just to rub it in.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I think the Packers need to make a lot of changes. I hope they keep Josh Jacobs around for a while. I hope he has a great season again. Josh Jacobs is a real man. He like carried a dude. He was holding on to the back of his jersey. He carried him like 30 yards down the field.
You see the talk about getting Max Crosby?
Oh yeah, I did see about that. I hope they do. I mean,
nuts.
I feel like it's pretty far-fetched though. I don't know if it's going to be something that happens, but
I don't know how tight him and fucking Josh Jacobs were, but I
think they
saw
were
a
pretty
picture
tight.
of Max Crosby in a Packers uniform, like the new one, or
Yeah.
not new, the ones where it's green and then the yellow numbers. She looks fire. He looks good now.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. It'd be dope if he came here. I'm pretty sure he's a Lions fan, but you know,
Is
he can
he?
get over it. It's the NFL. Max
I
Crosby,
mean, as
because he
long as
went
he
to
gets the fucking money.
Eastern Michigan, and I think he was from I don't know where in Michigan, but he imagine the Lions though with Max Crosby. That'd be scary.
Oh,
That's just not fair at
that'd
that
be
point.
fucking terrifying.
They'd win every game by like 40, and he'd have like 3 sacks every game.
That'd be nuts.
Yeah, that's
He
nuts.
seems like he'll eventually be like the next fucking, what's his name? I'm fucking blanking. Aaron Donald.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Like
He's a
with
game
time.
wrecker. Like Myles Garrett on the Browns too. He's a great edge rusher. They were saying rumors a while back that they're like maybe the Packers should trade for Myles Garrett, but I don't think the Browns are going to move him.
Yeah.
He's like the best defender in the game. You know, you're gonna have to pay like probably gonna have to give him at least like 3 first-round draft picks. And I don't know if any franchise wants to do that, especially the Packers. It seems like they don't really like to give up their early draft picks too often.
Yeah.
Maybe they move back during the draft, but they don't really do much else.
For Max Crosby. He's kind of fucked sitting on that shitty ass team.
Oh yeah.
Blow.
The Raiders are pretty bad. They don't have a quarterback
Yeah.
either.
He could be fucking crazy on a good team, dude.
Yeah.
He'd be nuts.
Tom Brady's just got to fork over some of his money, I guess he has, to get him a good head coach and get some good
Yeah.
players on that team, since he's like part owner of the Raiders or whatever it is. He's a minority
Forgot
owner.
about that.
Yeah, I always forget about that too, and then it somehow gets brought up on like Instagram or something.
Yeah. I
But
like that Tom Brady's a commentator.
I think he does a good job. There's people saying that he doesn't do a good job.
He like rates the throws and shit too.
Yeah. And I feel like he
It's
provides pretty
from
good
one of
insight.
the
I mean,
greats.
the guy was the best quarterback in football for, like 2 decades. So
Yeah.
I'll listen to what he has to say. There's a lot of people who are like, I don't know, they just don't think he's like relatable enough, which
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, when you're the best at everything, it's kind of hard to relate to the average person, I guess. I don't know. He's kind of like psychotic, but that's what happens when you're that good. Like Michael Jordan in basketball, he was psychotic. Like that guy's fucking crazy.
Is AA Ron retiring officially?
I don't know. It might be his last ride with the Jets, though. I don't know if anyone wants to sign him.
Once he retires, it's like the end of that fucking era.
Oh yeah, with the era of like
Like
having
Tom
like
Brady, Peyton Manning,
Drew Brees,
Aaron, fucking
yeah, Philip Rivers. He's the last from that era, and like that final game they played Week 18. I watched that Jets game. Did they play the Bills that
I
week?
mean, I guess there's Derek Carr, but
Derek Carr's not that good enough for that.
yeah.
But like watching his final game when they were like doing the whole, is he going to retire thing? Is he not going to retire? That kind of felt weird to me watching that, where it's just like, damn, is this really over?
It made me sad.
Like I've thought about Aaron Rodgers' retirement, but it didn't really feel real until it was like that moment of where he's talking to, like, he had a post game interview with like Pam Oliver, and he was like basically he's like, I'm going to take a long time to think about this, and if this is it, I hope this isn't it, but I've had a lot of great times, and I'm going to take a lot of time to think about this. And I'm just like, damn, this might be over. I'm like, one of my favorite players of all time is going to retire, and I'm going to have nothing left.
He's gonna have to fucking take one of those drug cave retreats.
Yeah, his ayahuasca trips or whatever he's got going on.
Yeah,
Did you ever watch a full
Ayahuasca.
documentary on that?
I started it, but I think I fell asleep to it.
Weird stuff. I'll tell you that. It's weird.
Yeah.
The face paint and the dancing and whatever
Yeah,
else.
like I watched the trailer on Netflix, and I'm like, what the fuck? This dude played in the NFL and was balling
Yeah.
out. What the fuck?
You just think he's like a normal guy, but there's that going on.
Yeah, it's weird to see his backstory.
Yeah, it is. And like the whole thing with why he doesn't talk to his parents anymore. And I was like, okay, this is getting a little weird, but whatever. So, yeah. Well, do you want to dive into the pick'em for the divisional round here?
I forgot to do it last week.
Well, I don't think Sleeper has them at all for the playoffs. I checked. They don't have them for the playoffs. So I didn't make any official picks last week, to be honest with you. I guess my gut feeling was probably Bills. I thought the Chargers were going to beat the Texans. I was wrong about that. I was thinking Ravens over Steelers. I was right about that. And then on the NFC side, I thought the Eagles were going to beat the Packers. So I was right about that. I did not think the Commanders were going to beat the Bucks, and they did. And then I thought the Vikings would beat the Rams, and I was wrong about that too. So what do you do? But so let's start. Let's do NFC side first. What do you think about Lions Commanders?
Lions.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Lions too. I really want the Commanders to win. I just don't think it's gonna happen though, because like the Lions have the 1 seed, they're gonna be rested up, and they're just too good of a team to really like compete with. So,
Yeah.
what about Eagles Rams?
Eagles.
Yeah,
I want the Rams to win, but I'm gonna say Eagles.
I think I agree with the Eagles. I don't feel 100% confident in it, to be honest. I think the Rams could win. and I think there's a decent shot they do. But if Saquon Barkley has a really good game, I think the Rams end up losing because like you're just gonna have to feed the ball to him. I don't think Jalen Hurts is good enough to get you to the Super Bowl by passing. Because like if you don't have that run attack, I don't think Jalen Hurts is that good, to be honest. But if you just give the ball to Saquon, you're gonna get there. So
since we're on the Eagles right now, this is completely off topic of the fucking pick'em, but did you see that fucking Eagles fan?
oh yeah, I was gonna talk about that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say something too. He got fired from his job. He's banned from the stadium. Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe he should learn how to talk to people and not be an absolute dick. I don't know what to say. That was
In
bad.
front of the dude's girlfriend is crazy. His that fucking dude's girl or the girlfriend's boyfriend. The guy recording is a pussy. Like, how are you gonna let some fucking dude talk to your girlfriend like that?
He
Like, what the
probably
fuck?
should have beat his ass, to be honest. He probably should have beat his ass. But
Yeah.
you know what? The guy got canned from his job. He's banned from
Oh
Lincoln
yeah.
Financial Field. His life is probably ruined. You know, who really wins in the end, I guess.
Yeah. Because he
but
was
but
in like a field, like a job field where you are supposed to be nice to people, and now
yeah,
you got that fucking video going all around the internet. You're fucked.
calling her stupid effing this and
Dumb C, dumb
yeah,
ugly
yeah,
C word. See
it
you
was pretty
next
bad.
Tuesday.
It's not even like it was a verbal exchange like back and forth. The guy was trying to like diffuse the situation and he just kept
Yeah.
doing it. Just harassing
He
her.
had to be hammered.
Yeah. I feel bad for the chick. Like I think the dude
That's
probably should have said something. Probably should have been like, "Hey, don't talk to my girlfriend that way." But
that's the art of the brotherly love.
yeah. Hey, remember like a while back, I think last year sometime when we were saying the Eagles were the worst fan base in football? Hey,
Oh
that
yeah.
stands.
Yeah, that dude definitely pisses in troughs.
Yeah, he pisses in the troughs there. And like he's probably swimming in the troughs in Lincoln Financial Field.
He's
He's
got a trough installed at his house for sure.
yeah. So good for that couple, I guess. Bad for the dude who got banned. But you know what? I'm not saying you have to kiss everyone's ass, but maybe learn to be a little nicer to people who are wearing the opposing team's gear. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'll banter with a Bears fan if they come to Lambeau, but I'm not gonna like verbally harass them. It
Yeah,
seems
like that was fucking nuts.
a step over the line just a bit. Like here's some little kid wearing a Caleb Williams jersey, and you're like bullying him.
Listen here, you little fucking prick.
Yeah, exactly. You're being like, you're a fucking homo, you're this, and that. You're like, don't talk to
Yeah,
my kid that way.
your mom, your girlfriend's an ugly fucking pig.
Yeah,
Shit, like,
that's
shut
pretty
up.
bad.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So I will take the Eagles.
But anyways, Eagles.
Yes, Eagles. Rams could win though. I'm not opposed to it. What do you think about Bills Ravens? This one's the big game this week.
This is gonna be tough.
I'm really torn either way on this one.
I'm gonna say Bills by a field goal.
Bills by a field goal. I can dig
That's
that.
gonna be tight.
I mean, honestly, I don't think you can go wrong picking either way. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go for the sake of competition here. I'm gonna go with the Ravens, just because I think Lamar's been really good, and maybe it's their year. It's our year. But
Yeah.
I think they have a
Fucking
shot.
Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Ravens, they're pretty good every year in the regular season, and then once they get to the postseason, they just kind of shit the bed. But maybe this is the year where it changes. So Lamar's playing at an MVP level. So is Josh Allen, but I'd probably give it to Lamar right now. But I'll go Lamar and the Ravens. So, and then the last one is Chiefs Texans.
You almost have to pick the Chiefs.
I want to say, give me the Chiefs on this one. I don't like it, but
Yeah.
it's not so much that I feel super confident in the Chiefs. I just feel like the Texans aren't even supposed to be here right now. Like,
If the Texans win this game, I will buy a fucking CJ Stroud jersey.
yes, you should just get CJ Stroud like tattooed on your arm or something.
They don't have Tank Dell either. Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough week for them. I'm surprised they honestly won. I don't even like earlier this year. I thought maybe the Texans could be like a dark horse Super Bowl team. That's
Yeah.
when all out the window ever since. It's been kind of rough, and I'm just like, they're one of those teams that are in the playoffs that I feel like shouldn't be, but it's how it goes. It's kind of like when everyone was bitching about the college football playoffs and they're bitching about blowouts and they're like, this team shouldn't even be in here. They feel like one of those teams is like, oh, why are they even in? Which I want to say is BS because people will complain about blowouts in the college football playoff, but then they happen in the NFL wildcard. Like a lot of those fucking games were blowouts and no one complains. So, why is it such a big deal? Or no one's saying, oh, the Steelers shouldn't have been in the playoffs because they got blown up by the Ravens. They should have let this team in instead. It's dumb, but whatever. So
Yeah, they have the dumbest shit.
yeah. So, that's pretty much the whole divisional round. Also, side note, I know you don't watch college football, but Ohio State versus Notre Dame in the Natty this week. I think Ohio State's going to win. I want Notre Dame to win, though. So that can be included as well. But yeah.
Fuck it. Give me Notre Dame.
Odd Country and Notre Dame for Shane
Just
Gillis.
for Shane Gillis, yeah.
Yeah. I hope they win. I don't think they will. I think they're honestly probably going to lose by like 20, but
We'll see.
what do you do? So, yes, that is the pick'em. That is Cheap Seats 89 or 90, whatever this one is, 91, 92, 93. I don't even know why I number them at this point, but
Yeah.
hopefully we can get the whole crew together for one of these and we'll be able to recap everything. We should talk about fantasy next week or the week after, whatever we do next.
Yeah.
Because we didn't even talk about that. Dyson won the whole league. Good for him.
Gay.
Yeah. Kick his ass. I was telling him he should buy a banner because I saw they sell banners that you could customize. Imagine if we go to like his place for the draft next year and then he's fucking putting a banner up in his garage.
He's got the trophy out and everything.
Yeah, he's gonna have the trophy. He's gonna have everything. He's gonna have a big curtain hung up over this banner. He's gonna be like, "Wait for this." Pull it up. He's got the banner. I'm like, "Oh my god, dude."
Jesus.
Yeah, that's what we're doing, I guess now too. It's no punishments. Just loser buys the winner a trophy. So
I think that's fucking stupid.
yeah, it's hard to get anyone to actually do their punishments though.
Yeah.
Dalton got out of it. He's also cross country, so I guess it would be kind of hard to get him to do it. But whatever. So, alrighty. I think that's it. I think we're going to put a bow on this one. So we will see you all next time, I suppose.